Welcome again to Joe Stun Unboxing. Let's talk about Johnny Fisher because he's a popular guy, sells tickets by the thousand, bit of a cult figure, rapidly becoming kind of a mainstream figure, bit of a Ricky Hatton vibe going on here. Man of the people, young lad, on the up. I'm sure you know, he smashed through Alan Babbage at the weekend, 36 seconds, destroyed Babbage. But can I just make a suggestion here that we put the brakes on the hype, all right? Because I know that the job of any promoter is to say, you know, this guy's going places, bloody flies, this guy's going places, and, you know, he's great, he's potentially a world-class, world beater. Hold on a second, all right? And this also applies to people in the comments section of some of the video I did, of the review video I did for the Babbage Fisher fight. A couple of guys have said, you know what, he reminds me of Mike Tyson. Okay, stop. Let's put the brakes on a little bit here. Okay, look. I know he reminds you of Mike Tyson. He's 6'4" white guy whose style is nothing like Mike Tyson's. But anyway, look, he beat Alan Babbage. My prediction in my preview video was that he'd do Babbage in 3 rounds or less. I didn't think he'd do him in 36 seconds, but c'est la vie. You know, he caught him early, did him, end of chat. And is that his best win? Well, possibly it is, but he hasn't faced anyone yet. Not any durable heavyweights that I would say would be capable of winning a British title, never mind a European title, never mind a world title. And let me emphasize before I go on, this is not an anti-Johnny Fisher video. I like Johnny Fisher. You know, he seems like a really nice young man. His family seem, you know, really nice, really good. He's respectful. He's respectable. He's a good role model. He's got some skills. But he's also a novice who's got a ton to learn, okay? I find his style, he's a little bit stiff. Again, I'm not knocking him, I'm just pointing things out. I'm trying to give a bit of constructive criticism, which you may disagree with or you may agree with. But he's still a little bit stiff, still a little bit upright. Still some gaps in the defence. He hits pretty hard, we know that. What he needs to do is he needs to do what I think he's doing already, which is to work very, very hard in the gym, learn his craft. As you know, if you've ever been in a boxing gym, repetition, so that whatever you're learning becomes second nature. He needs to work on that. And then he needs to get under the lights against someone who he can hit cleanly and it doesn't go anywhere. Now, a good example of excellent matchmaking is Moses Atama, who is going to face scheduled to face Marius Vac. Marius Vac is in his 40s. He's way past his best, but he can take a wallop. He is a durable, big, powerful guy who Atama is going to have to show a lot of skills with. He can't just rely on his big bop because Atama hits hard too. Fisher needs similar. I mean, I wouldn't put him in with a Vac yet. Oh, would I? Maybe I would. But, you know, I want him in there with tough guys who are going to allow him under the lights, under the bright lights, to illustrate and to prove to himself as much as anything what he's learned in the ring. What he's learned in the gym. Show it in the ring. He's a young man. He's only 25. That's a babe for a heavyweight. He's got the right attitude. He seems to live the life. Naturally, he's a big fella. But he needs to work on those skills, What's his ceiling? Eddie Hearn has talked about world-class potential. I don't see that, to be honest with you, at the moment. I mean, it could change. But if I was Eddie Hearn, I would take a leaf out of his new bestie, Frank Warren's book, because Frank Warren is excellent at bringing along young prospects, really good at doing it. And he's doing the same with Tama. You know, it's area level. Johnny is, I think he's a current Southern area champ, heavyweight champ. English next. Is David Adelai's got the English? Yeah, okay, that might be an option. But don't go for the British yet. Leave that. That's for the future. And certainly don't jump to European level because look, when you move to a certain level, it's very difficult to move back down. When you move to a certain level, and let's say you've got a belt, British belt, EBU belt, you've got to be judged at that level. We saw this with Adam Azim, who was an EBU champ, and then gave up the belt to supposedly to fight Harlem Eubank. What's all that about? But he jumped up too quick, and you can't jump down. You have to give up the belt because you know, if you're an EBU champ or a British champ, you should be prepared to take on all comers because you're a champion. That's what being a champion's about. So for Johnny, I would say English level, yeah, okay, go for the English belt, but not yet. Nothing above that yet. I would have him in there with tough, durable guys, journeyman, gatekeeper types that are going to take him rounds. He needs the rounds. 10-round fights. He needs to, at the end of that fight, he's knackered. And he's thinking, do you know what? I had to work through something there. I had to really give it large there because I was knackered and, but I've learned something. I've learned something because I now know that I can take what I'm doing in the gym, do it under the lights, and I can get through, I can walk through a wall, a mental wall, a physical wall where I can get my second win. It's no use just splattering people like Alan Babbage, who's really just, he's a very small heavyweight, maybe a cruiser, who hasn't got a chin. I've even heard people say, well, put him in with Dillian White. Well, no, don't put him in with Dillian White because I know Dillian White, his punch resistance is going out the window. But look at all that experience Dillian White's got, and he comes to fight. No, don't put him in with Dillian White. I've heard people say put him in with Fabio Wardley. No, he's not ready for Fabio Wardley. He's not ready for Fraser Clark. He's a young lad learning the trade, and just because he sells a lot of tickets and he's sold out the Copper Box, which is it's a great venue. Some people said it's like a big York Hall because all the seats are great. You're looking down on the ring and everything. Yeah, carry on. Make that your home for 3, 4, 5 fights. Get some good 10-rounders in. But don't jump up too quickly. And please, let's stop saying he reminds us of a young Mike Tyson or, a young Joe Louis. Or this is not true. He's a young lad with some potential. At the moment, I can't see him. I don't see any world-class potential, but I see a guy who, if he works hard, could get to British level, maybe European level. But at 25, by the time he's 28, he may have jumped up, quantum leaps. That happens sometimes. Fighters develop mentally, physically, emotionally. I mean, in terms of maturity, they develop at different steps in different ways, at different paces. Johnny Fisher seems to be a very mature young man, and that's really, really good. And he lives a life, and that's fantastic. That's what we need. So he has got a chance to maximize his ability. But don't push him too fast. Don't push him too fast. Eddie Hearn said, this guy's not a gimmick. He's a real fighter. Okay, treat him like a real fighter then. Don't treat him like you did with Alan Babbage, which is, give him a load of pushovers and make a few quid, and Babbage made a few quid. No, if you want this guy to reach a higher level, bring him on nice and slow, gradually move him up and see what his ceiling is, So just a few thoughts there on Johnny Fisher. I wish him nothing but the very best because, like I say, he seems like a really nice guy. Let me know your comments. I know he's a popular guy, so let me know your comments. Leave them down below. And if you could subscribe to the channel if you're new, that would be great. And also hit the like button if you like the video. It's always good to have you here watching these videos. And I'll catch up with you later. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye for now.